It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Next on Madden Football.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Throwing, Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Jones. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the...
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now Jones on 3rd down. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on 2nd down when they got the sack? Because on 3rd down, 0 pressure all the time in the world, and he picks up the 1st down with that throw.
Let's go, baby.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jones. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. It's a giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Jones. That one to the sideline and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the 1st quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And Nice pass there, and now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play. You know what we need, baby. It's one play at a time, baby. Let's rock and roll.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Come on, let's go.
First down, Prescott. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Prescott yet again. Flush to his right. And his throw here's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. Their 2nd drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Azeez Ojulari pushing in and dropping him.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Pollard again. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a 3rd down at 17 to go. Now Prescott. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Jadon Mickens. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Up the middle with Barkley. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. Jones.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Let's go, man. They got to walk that walk, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a 1st down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Gallup getting it on the jet sweep. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Pollard going to try the right side. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Open man Lamb. It's complete.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9.
Looking to throw. Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle.
And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Pollard going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Pollard again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. Prescott now. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and end up making the play.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Throwing to start the drive. Jones finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Barkley inside handoff. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Jones.
He's got Bellinger.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Jones on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Looking to throw. Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
This a 27-yard attempt here. Gano's kick is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
But this is a football game, right?
It is.
How you like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Tony Pollard and his Dallas teammates ready again on offense.
It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Prescott on 1st down.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. So just 3 yards on the completion there. and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. And Cooks has it over the middle. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge, a successful one.
To throw again on second down. Prescott.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. 3rd down here.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Prescott. Steps away to his left. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now Jones. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down.
Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Darius Slayton from 3 yards out. And the Giants are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Well, they were down 6 at intermission, but they quickly erased that deficit, and Charles, now they've got a chance to take the lead.
And while being down 6 points, obviously not an insurmountable lead, tying a game up, that just relaxes a whole team, doesn't it? And now when you add the extra point and you go up, you really feel good about what you've accomplished.
Gano the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard.
The third quarter hasn't been so kind to him or them. They were winning at halftime, now down. Maybe he needs to get going, get this spark back.
It probably felt pretty easy in the first half. You know, not easy like they can do whatever they want, but they were locked in. Things were going well. Whatever changes were made by the defensive side, they're winning with them right now. As you said, they've got to find that spark, maybe make some changes themselves on offense.
Right now they're clamping down on him in the run game. He's going to find Gallup here complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On second down, it's Pollard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, boy. Let's go.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Slayton. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up second down. On the option right, it's Jones. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. First down, Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Throwing, Prescott. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Gano now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing. And as a player, that means an awful lot.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Sean McKeon, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Cowboys have come back to make it a 2-point game.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. Complete at the 1. And he's not going to get there. So they come up empty on the 2-point conversion, and they are unable to tie up this football game.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating 2nd and long.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run. And they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, Slayton. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Throwing, Jones. Looking for Shepard deep. Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 41.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Forced out to his left.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. A 1st down throw for Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. From the 16, Prescott. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 1 now.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson.
And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Prescott off play action. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Now that's an offensive line you and I can play behind. How about the amount of time they gave their guy to scan the field and find someone open? Had all night, and in a game like this, probably should just put a spotlight on them instead of the quarterback.
Now here's Pollard. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard punching it in from a yard away.
And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Tristan Vizcaino for the extra point.
And the lead is up to 5. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown. Their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A handoff to Barkley.
And this will be a Giants 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Slayton. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jones. This is caught by Robinson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end, and he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD.
Chris Myrick
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Giants answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Jones throwing for it.
Buying time to his left. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for
chart.
1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And you just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try making a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Tony Pollard and his Dallas teammates ready again on offense.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott now.
Left side to Lamb.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll throw again. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge, maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this had trouble written all over it from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
New York set to take the field.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a give to Barkley. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Jones looking around. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they will take a knee here.
Let's go, baby. Let's have some gun. Bring it. Let's do this, man. It's game time.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
72 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.